Warning: motorsport is a dangerous activity. The events you're about to see were filmed in a controlled environment under the supervision of professionals. Do not attempt to recreate or reenact anything you see on this show.
On the last episode of Off-Road Addiction TV, we spent the day wheeling around the Polaris full drive parks in the tow rigs. There were sand tracks with rutted out areas and steep, sandy hill climbs with plenty of trails winding tightly through the trees. Now, it's time to park up the tow rigs and have some fun getting covered in mud at the night run in the Polaris General and the Razor Turbo. We get to play on the more hardcore tracks with plenty of mud bolts, hill climbs and off-camber wheel lifting action. Getting to go off-road in the shiny trucks is fun and all, but nothing beats being able to tackle all the hardcore tracks in something with a bit more tread and more horsepower. So we figured the best place to start was a bunch of steep, sandy hill climbs to see who could get all the way to the top first. Well, looks like the General doesn't have the juice to get to the top. Maybe it's the operator? Must be my turn to show Paul how it's done in the Razor Turbo. Come on, Paul. Don't know what the issue was there. That was way too easy. Paul clearly wanted to redeem himself after failing to get to the top of a tiny hill climb, so went straight for the rutted out wheel lifting tracks. Unfortunately for Paul, he couldn't quite get himself up and over the rutted out hill, so he had to back out and take the bypass instead. Now it's my turn to power up there and show him how it's done. It was proving to be difficult for the Razor Turbo to get up out of the ditch, but there was no way I wasn't making it up this track. I needed the bragging rights against Paul for driving all the tracks he couldn't. Looks like Paul is a bit beached up there. Luckily, he has a winch to help get him out of all these situations. Otherwise, I might be forced to give him a bit of a push.
Just bellied out, real steep pinch here. Gary said that it dropped off quite tight to the left, so I was a little bit reserved maybe in my approach, and just with the sand it dug down real quick. There's no trees out there. So we're just going to have to give it a quick little pull just to square it off and skim over this little pinch. Now group, that's the universal in, and then stop. And then just inching it in, so just on the button until it takes up nice and tight on the gear lead there. Pretty much an unspoken thing, everybody knows it now, so I don't know. You guys let us know, is that the universal or is it just our local?
Right, so we've decided to go hit track 21, which is a 3X track, which is one of the harder tracks around here, and we'll see how far we get. We're going to do the track from start to finish, so you guys follow us and laugh at when we get stuck.
And right at the start, Paul is already lifting wheels just to get through the bypass. This track is definitely going to be a good time.
Not so keen on shoving it through the bog holes at this time of night. I don't want to be cold and wet for the rest of the night, so we're going to drive around the bog holes. Plus I have no snorkels, so we'll play it safe.
And what a surprise, Paul is stuck again. He's managed to wedge himself in that bog pretty good, so out comes the winch cable again. We backed up the Razor Turbo and hooked up the winch for a quick recovery. This thing has definitely earned its keep with the amount of recoveries it's done, and I'd say there'll be plenty more to come, especially if I find some massive holes to drive into, because I just like driving into big holes.
Off-Road Addiction TV is brought to you by Maxxis New Zealand, Force 4, Polaris New Zealand, and REDARC Electronics.
I'm almost tempted from the position I'm in to go back about 6 inches, winch off that tree, come around the front. Okay. I'll come for you soon, Caleb. Gary said to me, should we take the long tree protector? Nah, it's all good, it's all good. We've been about 6 inches short on so many trees, it's ridiculous. And this one hasn't actually gone around all the trees because some of them are quite girthy. Girthy like Caleb. Girthy-some. Alright Caleb, I'm coming for you, buddy.
Don't get me, I'm all wet. You're almost there, bro. It's about to pop out. Winch only. Hey? Winch only, don't drive. Yeah, so didn't quite go to plan. Came down, thought I had it, tried to keep clean, and yeah, that didn't happen. So I tried backing up, got even more wet, tried going forward, got even more wet, and yeah, end result, just waiting for Paul. He's coming to save me with his general. Thankful he's got a winch, because yeah, I'm gonna need it. Good times. It's about 8 o'clock at night, so the night is still young. It's all good, all part of the fun. I love getting stuck, just not when it's icy cold, smelly water. So pretty much just because Paul and I are really nice guys, we're going to actually let this water go back to nature where it belongs. So thankfully Polaris is smart enough to put some bungs on the floor. Thanks for joining us, water. Next time stay out, right?
Finally, we were out the other side of track 21, which just had us pumped to go find something else just as hard to go and tackle. We can't deny these Polarises are a hell of a lot of fun off-road.
Yeah boy, what's a bit of mud between friends? I think Paul laid down.
Anybody want a biscuit? Biscuit?
Off-Road Addiction TV is brought to you by Factor 55, Motomuck, Big Brown Industries, and Trail Gear.
No, we're actually doing a track in reverse. There's no real order to this. So this is track 20. Effectively we're going to go uphill and then back downhill. So from one side to the other side. From the bottom to the top to the bottom.
It wasn't long before this track became seriously fun. There were large tree roots getting the units up on three wheels, and plenty of mud bogs that seemed to get bigger and deeper the further in we went. This is never a good sign for me, as I always have to hit everyone at full pace. Guess it's a good thing that I love the mud, because the razor sends it flying in every direction. The problem is, this is where I start to get stuck.
Just to stay true to form, stuck again. Paul's coming to the rescue with the general. Works quite well. Basically I get stuck and he recovers me, so I make good use of his winch more than he does most of the time, but it's good. It's the first time I've driven into this hole. Normally it's full of water and absolutely horrible, so he saw it was dry and decided to give it a bit of sand, and we did that. So just waiting on my good mate over here with those very bright lights. And then we're nearly out of this track, and about time to go pack up, go home.
Oh.
A round. Yeah, so I'm pretty stuck, eh?
It's quite silty and hard.
Oh, that's the first time I've ever driven in this hole. Normally it's just an absolute soup hole, so I don't bother. Hey Paul,
Yowza.
I'm stuck again.
At least it wasn't an embarrassing stuck like the last one.
Thanks for bringing your winch along. I've enjoyed using it.
Where would we be without it?
Probably still a couple holes back. Hanging out, waiting for a mate.
With the Razor all hooked up, the General slowly towed it out of the bog. It was getting to that point where I'd nearly used the winch to recover myself as much as Paul had. After taking what seemed like a half ton of slop with me, I was going to need to do some serious cleaning to get all this mud off.
That track is going to be a lot shallower now.
I fixed it for a lot of people. That was seriously deep though, and it was very square.
Oh wow, that's probably why I had to drive.
That's gonna be fun.
That's fallen out too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm out. Thanks, Paul. Nah, that's a lot of cleaning. It's a lot of cleaning. I'm gonna use a fair bit of Motomuck, I think. So yeah. Watch the space. Yeah, no, it's a good night. As usual.
Spent my whole night winching Caleb out.
Yep. It's pretty much how we roll. He brings the winch, I get stuck. But no, another good night run. Thanks to Roger for putting it on.
Brilliant.
Roger runs the four-wheel drive, or the Polaris four-wheel drive park here, and he does a fantastic job at giving us somewhere to play. We've got about 2,500 acres to play in, so
He's been putting in a lot of work after the recent storm we had. There's a lot of trees down. He's done a lot of work to clear them to make this actually possible at all.
yeah, definitely. I was quite surprised it was going ahead just with the amount of damage he said, but he's had arborists in here today working all day to clear the track so that we can come and play, which is pretty awesome of him. So if you get the chance, come and support the park, come out for a day and have some fun. As you can see, you can bring anything from shinies to tough trucks to Polarises and whatever else in between.
Tough gingers.
Yeah, bring them as well, as long as they don't cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
Anyways,
doesn't work.
that's enough for us. We're pretty much at the end of the track, and then it's time to load up and go home. So we'll see you on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed it.
Coming up in the next episode, we're back in the shiny trucks, looking for a spot to camp up north in the town they call Ahipara.
Oh yeah! There's a night run going on tonight. We're here for a bit of a day run.
Night run at night.
Yeah.
For those viewers out there that didn't guess that one.
Light bars before lockers. We have neither, so it's going to be a good time.
Jury rigged, mate.
Sort it out.
What do you think? Will I clear that?
I'm going to go and stand in it so we can see how deep it is. I know you're the height of Frodo, so it
Yeah,
kind of
so
makes it
he-
look a little bit more.
He's quite a short kind of guy, so.
Yeah.
Oh no! There's cutty grass everywhere!
Yeah, don't get cut, mate.
Oh, we'll go big girl somewhere else then. Fine. You lead the way. What did I do? What did you do? You're the navigator. Camera lady. You got us stuck.
Can you not put your fingers back in the biscuits now?
That wasn't on there before.
These biscuits!
That's what it looked like when I changed Blake
Look at
before.
your hands here.